Tonight, a Canadian national is found dead at her Beauséjour residence. National outrage after a woman is sexually assaulted while out on a morning walk. And the NCOPT mourns the killing of a long-serving minibus driver. The details of these stories and more are coming up.
This is the Hot 7 Nightly News with Lovelace and Amy Joseph.
Good night. It is Monday, the 21st of December, 2020. Welcome to the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. I'm Lovely St. Amy Joseph. Thank you for joining us. On Sunday, the community of Beauséjour was rocked by news that a resident of the community was found dead in her home. The 34-year-old female was found unresponsive and was subsequently pronounced dead. Genevieve Gonzague begins our reporting.
On Sunday, St. Lucia recorded its 49th homicide. Dead is 34-year-old Nicole Dempster, a Canadian national residing in St. Lucia. PRO of the Royal St. Lucia Police Force, Anne Joseph, gave the details.
About 11:10 p.m. on Sunday, the 20th of December 2020, officers attached to the Gros-Islet Police Station responded to a report of a homicide at Beauséjour Gros-Islet. On arrival, the officers noticed the unresponsive body of a female who has now been identified as 34-year-old Nicole Dempster, a Canadian national residing in St. Lucia. A medical practitioner was called to the scene who confirmed death. A postmortem examination is to be scheduled for a subsequent date. The matter is currently under investigation.
Our news team spoke with the president of the Beauséjour Neighborhood Watch Group, Jim Joseph, who explained that this incident has left the entire community angered and in shock.
Of course, our hearts go out to the victims' families. And of course, we as a community, we're there to support, like I said. Again, it goes back to what I said earlier. Are we taking responsibility for something like that happening? As a community, did we do enough to ensure that we know who our neighbors are, that we understand the particular situation that persons face, whether it is domestic violence, whether it is something, but there's always an underlying cause, an underlying issue.
Joseph explained that although the situation is tragic, it has afforded the group an opportunity to strengthen and heighten their protective efforts in the community. He has also called on individuals to be their neighbors' keepers.
I think we have a responsibility to be our neighbors' keepers. Do we check on each other? Do we ensure that there's some sort of support system when we see somebody going astray? And these are things as a community group that we are trying to do. And COVID-19 has brought the excellent opportunity for us to do some of those things. So again, I said, although it is something that is tragic and we're angered and we're saddened that something like that has happened in Beauséjour, but it's an opportunity for us to reach out. It's an opportunity for us to show a bit more love, a bit more care and concern, and to ensure that going forward that these things do not happen within our community.
Reporting from the community of Beauséjour for Hot 7 TV, I am Genevieve Gonzague.
And we will have more on the weekend marred by violent crime. But first, a new and more infectious variant of COVID-19 is spreading rapidly in the UK. Here in St. Lucia, health officials say intense discussions are ongoing about how to respond to this development. St. Lucia's borders are still open to the UK, even as EU countries have closed their borders to their neighbor. On the 14th of December 2020, the United Kingdom's Public Health Agency reported a variant of COVID-19 in 1,108 individuals. The newly identified strain was first detected in September 2020. In November, it made up around a quarter of COVID-19 cases in London. This reached nearly 2/3 of cases in mid-December. St. Lucia's Chief Medical Officer, Dr. Sharon Belmar-George, gave details of this new COVID-19 variant currently sweeping the UK.
The preliminary analysis in the United Kingdom suggests that the virus has an increased risk of being transmitted as high as 70%. The United Kingdom government has noted significant transmission and spread in the areas where the variant of SARS-CoV-2 strain has been found. There is no indication at this point of increased severity or harmfulness associated with this new variant.
As news of EU countries shutting their borders to the UK emerges, the logical question is, will St. Lucia follow suit given that the UK is a key tourism source market for the island? France has suspended all travel links to the UK. Germany, Poland, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Austria, Bulgaria, Romania, Malta, and Croatia, among others, have suspended flights from the UK. One of the most popular holiday destinations for UK citizens, Spain, has also suspended flights. Italy has blocked all flights from the UK until the 6th of January, while the Netherlands banned all passenger flights from the UK until the 1st of January. Belgium halted flights and trains from the UK until the end of Tuesday. Greece extended its quarantine period for travelers from the UK from 3 to 7 days. Dr. Belmar George says dialogue on this issue is ongoing, with preliminary guidance received from PAHO, the WHO, and the European Centre for Disease Prevention and Control. But so far, no concrete decision has been announced by local health officials with regard to travel and tourism as it relates to St. Lucia and the UK.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness is reviewing all information in relation to this new threat in consultation with our international and regional public health agencies to guide the way forward in reducing the possible impact to our country. This situation further proves the importance of strict adherence to all protocols recommended to reduce transmission of the virus.
Dr. Belmar George says there is need for maintaining and even increasing vigilance at all levels where risks have been identified. Meanwhile, the St. Lucia Labour Party is calling for an immediate halt on air traffic between St. Lucia and the United Kingdom.
A rising wave of COVID-19 cases in the south of England has been blamed on a new variant of the coronavirus. The new version, which apparently appeared in September, is thought to be behind half the cases in the region. In response, European nations are throwing up travel barriers to the UK over fears of what is being called a more transmissible strain of the coronavirus. Here at home, the St. Lucia Labour Party is calling on government to immediately suspend air travel arrangements between St. Lucia and the United Kingdom.
More than 40 countries have imposed travel restrictions on arrivals from the United Kingdom as a result of the development of a new variant of the COVID-19 virus, which is reported to be 70% more transmissible. Further to this, as the UK reported a record high of 35,928 COVID-19 cases on Sunday, 20th December 2020, British Health Secretary Matt Hancock has warned that the new variant of the virus is getting out of control.
Among the latest countries imposing travel bans on the United Kingdom is Grenada, which recently had its own spike in COVID-19 cases, which is thought to have originated from a Sandals resort there. The Jamaican Prime Minister Andrew Holness has stated that within the next 72 hours, a decision will be announced. Lewis says that while St. Lucia continues to grapple with its own spread of the virus, it should take all precautions to safeguard its population.
The St. Lucia Labour Party's position is firm and remains that the interests and well-being of every St. Lucian must be protected first and foremost. Therefore, we call on Prime Minister Alan Chastanet and his government to implement the advisable and responsible protocol in banning arrival travels to St. Lucia from the United Kingdom. In addition, we remind the government that its responsibility is to the people of St. Lucia and that it cannot continue to gamble with lives by risking the health and safety of citizens for tourist arrivals.
On Saturday, December 19, UK Prime Minister Boris Johnson announced new restrictions on movement for the Christmas season and a total lockdown in London and the South East in response to the sudden spike in cases there. For the Hot 7 News, Nisha Charles reporting.
Thank you, Nisha. You're watching the Hot 7 TV Nightly News. Still to come, a long-serving minibus driver is found dead. The NCOPT mourns his passing. A re-energized call for women to legally carry pepper spray following the attack on a Boseju woman over the weekend. And Recover St. Lucia releases a new song titled We Will Recover.